Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Tyranniod here, and today I'm bringing you the No Man's Sky review. And it's about time I actually did this review, because I've had the game for about 4 months now, but I haven't really seen fit to do the review since the game was so bare bones, and anything I could talk about, any other YouTuber or any other reviewer on the entire internet has already done it. But as you can see from the screen now, it has been updated. There's a foundation update. I haven't played it for that long. I think I've given it about half an hour to 40 minutes. And to be fair, this video is just literally like the first 10 minutes I had on the game. And that's mainly because the game hasn't changed that much. It has in a way, but I'll get into that. Basically, as you all know, No Man's Sky is a very bland game. Story-wise, it's got no story. It's the end goal is basically a waste of time. You basically go to the end of the universe, so the universe can reset, and you can get to the end of the center of the universe again. There's alien species across the universe, and they're all basically the same species. And you find random monoliths where you can learn bits of their language, or you can speak to them to learn bits of their language, and it's pointless. It does nothing. So story-wise, it's basically bland and boring, and that is not the reason I carried on playing for as long as I did. Gameplay-wise, there isn't much to the gameplay. You're basically just going around collecting elements so that you can then get money. You can supply, sort of charge up your ship, charge up your weapons. That's basically it. You're just going around getting elements so you can get better stuff to get better elements or more elements. That's basically all there is to it. So gameplay is pretty bland as well. I mean, I think the main thing that kind of grabbed me into this game was just the immersion, and we'll get into this in a minute with graphics, but the immersion of just landing on the world and having this strange alien planet and just being able to freely explore, and that's pretty much it. That was the main selling point for me, basically being able to, because you land down on the planets in real time, and that just blew my mind. And that is still amazing, but it wears off after the first couple of planets. And like I said, after that, you're just crafting, you're finding new species, but all the species are just so weird, but they're kind of the same at the same time, even though they're so different. So it just gets boring in the end. As for the art style, though, as for the graphics, that's I don't know what to say about that. They don't look as good as they did in the trailer. That's for sure. The graphics are kind of, it's almost like they've got this cel-shaded touch to them, like sort of like a cartoony style, not completely photorealistic. As you can tell from the video right now, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible as well. When the game first released, and you might see this from some of my videos if you go into my No Man's Sky playlist, there was a hell of a lot of stuff popping in, textures weren't loading properly, it was just all very, very if No Man's Sky's one grabbing feature for me is immersion, that pulls me out of the immersion when stuff isn't loading in properly. You know, your one selling point is being ruined, and you haven't got much else going for you. So we're going to move on to the new update. Now, the new update basically adds in a couple of things. There's a survival mode now. Like, you can carry on playing the normal mode that you were playing when the base game released. There's a survival mode, which apparently ramps things up and makes it a hell of a lot harder to survive, than it normally is. I haven't actually tried that. I don't think I'm going to, because the survival part wasn't really, again, the reason I bought this game. And finally, there's a crafting mode, which you are seeing me do now. This is probably the most fun mode, because I don't think you can craft in the other modes. But basically, you are given unlimited money and resources, so you don't have to mess around trying to survive. This is basically about exploring, finding new worlds, and you can craft. You can build your own bases, which is what I'm doing now. You won't see much of that in the video. I carried on actually after the video because obviously I can only record 15 minutes. But the crafting is really cool. You can either craft on ground or in space. You can get your own space freighter. I haven't actually done that. I just decided to do it on the ground and then decided to explore the system I was in. But the crafting is pretty basic at the moment. There aren't a lot of options. I've seen some pretty creative buildings. I will say that I'm very crap when it comes to being creative and crafting stuff, so I'm not the best person ever. But I'm sure you could do quite a lot with it. But I am hoping they bring in more options. Also with this update, I believe they've done they've patched the game as well. They've added in a load of fixes, and I believe they've fixed in some of these texture popping bugs that were in the original base game. So the game actually looks better now. There's been graphical improvements, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think I've just pretty much gone over and covered everything now. So I've covered that there's no story, gameplay's bland, and the graphics and the art style is, you know, substandard. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the game, and the update has made it playable again, but it's hardly the best thing in the world, and you're most likely going to spend an hour on it like I did, and you're going to come off and that's it. I'm just hoping that this is the start of Sean Murray and the whole of Hello Games really trying to fix their mistakes, because they really, really, really fucked up when they advertised this game. So I'm hoping that this is them slowly starting to fix it and adding all the stuff that they promised us. So this is a good first step. So we'll give them that. But at the moment, the game's just meh. Like I said, it depends what you want. If you want a fun game with loads of depth, you're not going to find it here. If you just want to immerse yourself and explore, and you're not bothered that things might get a little repetitive, then you'll like No Man's Sky. But that is pretty much it, guys. That's all I can basically say about the game. Like I said, there's not much you can really do and say to go in depth, and I could rant, but I'm not as angry as most of the people on YouTube that have talked about this game. There's really not much I could rant about, and yeah, I'm just not that angry. So there's not much I can talk about really about it now. So that's this review done, guys. I hope that you did find it kind of useful and decide whether you are actually going to buy this game or you're going to spend your money on a better game. And there are quite a few of them at the moment coming out. The next review I'm going to do, guys, is because I've got a whole backlog of reviews. I'm planning on reviewing Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare, and then I'm going to try and go back on all the PS4 games that I've bought and completed. So it's going to be quite a lot of reviews planned. Don't know how long it's going to take me to get them all done, but I hope you stay tuned. If you liked this review and you found it informative, please like the video and subscribe, because there'll be far more content coming this way. And if you found me annoying, just do yourself a favour and don't leave an angry comment, because that just gets us nowhere, does it? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.